So tell me, how are they urgently hiring? You go for an interview, this and that. They come back and they're like, you do not fit the requirements. We're going to talk to other candidates. It's a fast food place. What do you mean I don't fit the... What? Yeah, we should need no experience for this. You're urgently hiring? Why won't you hire me? I thought you... Bro, I don't understand Canada, bro.
I feel so bad for Canadians. Like, I really do. Because a lot of Canadians are busting their ass trying to make it and trying to live. Like, they work their 9 to 5. Most of them have more than one job. And y'all still struggling. Like, it's crazy. And this thought came to mind because I was doing my laundry. And this guy comes in with his bike and like a box of pizza. And we started chatting, and I actually asked him, like, hey, can I record you and we talk? But he wasn't comfortable being on camera. I respect that. We deal with consent over here, okay? And I end up finding out that, he reveals that he's basically living in an encampment. And kind of told me, he's involved with some agencies who are trying to get him housing, but that's a shit show, right? Housing in Canada, we already know how that is. It's not even just Toronto now, it's like Canada. Anyways, so I told you he had a box of pizza, y'all. This guy offered me some pizza, and I was like fascinated because I was like, people don't offer food ever. So I said to him, how come you're dealing with like homelessness? Obviously you're not in the best financial position. You have pizza and you're offering me pizza. Like, that's so kind. That's so genuine. And he was like, yeah, because I don't know if you're hungry. And I cannot assume whether you've ate today or not. And my heart was so like, wow. And imagine, these are our homeless people. It's freaking sad. Like, I just feel like the government needs to do things for people so they can live better. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know. I just don't feel like people should be working so hard and trying so hard and not live in a society where economically they can see progress. It's like no matter what you do, Canada's gonna fuck you over. You make too much money, you owe more taxes. Or you make more money, they take out the tax. What's crazy is the tax law. You get taxed each paycheck, and then when you make too much, you end up owing. What the fuck? What the fuck? What's the point? Like, what the heck? You make people go to school for what? Like, I don't get it. And I'm glad that we're starting to wake up and realize that it's all a freaking big scam, because it used to be like, oh, go to school and take sociology, anthropology, history, go take social work, go take whatever freaking program. Unless you take something like engineering, you're really not guaranteed security in the job market or in the workforce. And then it's like, why are you still pushing education if it doesn't streamline to a job? It's like, what the fuck? Oh, but I'm very glad that we're waking up and that people are realizing that the whole existence we're currently living is a scam.
So I always knew that when you mortgage a house, you pay almost twice the cost of the house, which is okay. I understand the bank's taking a risk. I just redid my mortgage and I did some calculations. I am paying almost 4 times the fucking cost of my house. Almost 4 times. Like, this is unacceptable. Like, yo, this whole thing is a trap. It's an absolute trap, may I tell you. How you gonna get out of that? For 30 years you're paying this mortgage. Somebody said in the States, when you pay, let's say you're paying $1,000 a month or $1,000 bi-weekly, you're paying that $1,000 for the next 30 years. Every fucking 5 years in Canada, you have to renew your mortgage with a new interest rate. It's fucking crazy. Yo, Kenyans, don't get into this shit, eh? Do not adapt the Western way of banking. It's fuckery. In Kenya, most people buy them house cash, or you pay for your apartment over. I think the most I've seen is 3 years. This is absolute bullshit. Me, as of today, and I mean, I realize this in my 50s. I'm on my 3rd house right now. Can you believe this shit? Yo, me I tell you now, it's a trap. It's a fucking trap. As of this moment, I am not buying shit on credit. If I don't have the cash, I do without it. This place is a fucking... it's an illusion, man. in a fucking simulation, brethren. Trust me. Wait, I want you to say that again, please. What you said to me was the company, Tim Hortons, is automatically adding 5 cents to my bill. Or
you're putting it out on refund?
Yeah. Tell me what happened. Okay, call your manager then, please. You didn't do anything wrong, and there's no reason for you to be upset. What I want to do is when I talk to Tim Hortons head office, I want to be able to be clear about what you said, because I don't want them to say something, oh, the employee made a mistake. Okay. Hi. Okay. So I'm recording. Okay. I purchased, the reason I'm recording, and if you want me to not record, I will respect, is just I'm going to call head office, and I want to make sure that I relay the information accurately.
Of course.
So I ordered my food, and it came to $4.95.
Okay.
And then when I scanned my Tim's app, he then said, it's $5. And I said, well, what is the 5 cents for? And he said, it's for the charity. And I said, oh, but I didn't authorize to go to charity. And he said, we automatically deduct it when you scan your app.
Yeah.
So is that accurate?
Yeah, so the thing is, in your Kim's app, there's a whole Kim's donation. So when you operate in the app, the sign up for the app, it's automatically, when you get the point, I mean, about 5 cents or 3 cents, those ones rounded up for the next price. So as you said, if it is $4.95, it's go to $5 as a Kim's card donation. I'll give you the receipt. In that, you can see.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like that.
Yeah.
So somewhere there's probably a something I could uncheck, and then I would not round it up, right?
Yeah. So
okay.
What we can do is you can check through the app as well, or else if you need to remove scan and pay, you can do that as well. Then.
Canadian hospitals are nuts, like one flew over the cuckoo's nest kind of nuts. Like they went from safe havens to danger zones in a matter of a couple of years. Now, why is this? Well, when people are at their lowest, these 24-hour waits, 30-hour waits, it's diabolical. And also when you're in there, something that blows my mind, the amount of people battling addiction. But another thing that's conspicuous is that when you're in these waiting rooms, you see people with like ailments that you wouldn't have seen a couple of years ago. Like they would have bypassed the waiting area right to emergency.
Taxes are going up in 2025, and here's what they all include. Income tax to anybody who makes over $64,000 per year. Payroll deductions, CPP and EI. Carbon tax is also going up, as well as the alcohol tax.
If you're a Canadian, I'm sorry, but you're getting screwed. There's my son and my wife having a great time on the beach, barefoot, chilling, walking around with the dog. Life is honestly just way better than living in Kingston, Ontario. As a Canadian who's doing business in the U.S. and filing for my visa to live in the U.S., I'm going to give you 3 reasons on why you got to get out and join me in Florida. Number 1, first and foremost, the weather, the beach, the palm trees everywhere. You got to get out. Canada is just sickening. There's lack of vitamin D. Everybody's negative and feels like shit for 8 months a year. It's not worth it. Number 2, the access to money. Right behind me, these houses are $30 to $50 million. The money down here is just bigger. The economy moves faster. You can scale your business way faster. And last but not least, taxes. Taxes in Florida are 25 to 27% if you're a corporation, and they kind of top out no matter how much money you make. Whether you make $400,000 a year, $800,000 a year, $3 million a year, you're topping out around the 27% if you know what you're doing. In Canada, you're paying 54, baby. So if you want to follow Canadian's journey, living in the U.S., getting my visa, building my business in the U.S., hit me a follow, and I'm going to show you a ton.
There's no job in Canada. No job again in Canada. Even to see dishwasher job nowadays, by connection, you sweat. Dishwasher. There's no job again. So if you're still looking for a job, I'll advise you to go to other provinces. Toronto, all these places. Job no day again, no job. And if you have a job right now, congratulations to you. Don't leave that job. Because if you leave that job, you sweat.
Canada used to be the best country in the world, right? Everyone wanted to come here. It was so good. You could have a regular job, buy a house, send your kids to college. It was the Canadian dream. Well, that dream is far gone and it'll never come back. Now countries like China are far more advanced than us. Their children are being raised properly, raised correctly. Now China is more safe. Now in China, you're not going to get carjacked. In China, you're not going to get jumped for wearing a red t-shirt. In China, you're not going to get killed in a shootout because some people, gang members, are shooting each other across the street. In China, your kids are not going to get beat up in high school or sold drugs to. You know what I'm saying? In China, it's safe. In other countries, it's safe. America has become the new third world country. Canada has become the new third world country. There's more shootings in the States. There's more shootings in Canada than there ever be in China. There's more shootings and there's more dangerous shit happening in Canada and America than there is in Thailand or China or Vietnam. You get what I'm saying? So this is the new third world country. You guys just missed the drift. You guys were snoozing, sleeping, falling asleep while the government stole all the money from your country. And the money is gone. The gold reserve is gone. Everything was sold. Everything is gone. Now it's up to you to... Now what are you going to do? Now what are you going to do? I'm in China. Peace out, buddy. I'm gone.
Canada is a pyramid scheme. And that's how our society is currently being set up. And here's what I mean by that. At the very top of the pyramid are the seniors. They're the ones that have been able to benefit off of the tax breaks, the policies, the spending. They were able to actually work a middle income class job and afford a home. Now that home is likely worth close to $1 million. They're sitting on a vast amount of equity. They were able to actually live a good life, afford a home, be able to make those payments, and actually generate equity from that home that they purchased. We have to pay that bill now. Our debt, our country's debt, in the last 10 years under the Liberal Party has literally doubled. What that means, and I'm going to illustrate it to you this way. This chart here explains everything you need to know. This is the debt of all Canadian prime ministers since 1867. This is all the debt under the Liberal Party in the last 10 years. That, by one person, by one party, has done more damage and more debt to our country than any other prime minister in history. Here's the thing that makes it much worse. This is the GDP per capita when you adjust for inflation at purchasing power parity. What that means is when you hold all things equal, where does Canada rank among these countries? How much more money are we creating? As you can see, we're almost at 0%. We're earning almost the same amount, and we're producing the same amount as we did 10 years ago than what we're doing today. All the other countries, as you can see, have increased. So we have twice as much debt. We're making the exact same in the last 10 years. But the boomers, your grandparents, your parents who are, say, older, who are now 55 plus or even retired, they benefited from all of that. And they took the benefit under the conservative leadership under Stephen Harper, who was absolutely crushing it. Our economy was booming. We had the wealthiest middle class in the world. It was something that every country fathomed. That has now dropped below those standards. That's where we are today. The people at the top, the seniors, the boomers, we are now going to fund their health care. Couldn't remember what the number was, so I quickly looked it up. And seniors, ages 65 and up, even though they only represent 18% of our population, they consume almost half of all total dollars spent on healthcare. Those are all the same people who are voting Liberal. Talk to your parents, talk to your grandparents. It is the most selfish thing to do for them to vote Liberal.
Canada's labor market is so ridiculous towards immigrants. Wait till you hear this story. I was just chatting with the concierge at my listing here, and she came here from India. She has 3 MBAs, including one from here, Master's in Finance, and she has 2 from India. And basically she applied to be a financial advisor at a Canadian bank, and basically they were like, you need 1 year's worth of experience in a Canadian bank to be a financial advisor. She was actually a GM of a bank in India. She owned businesses there and everything. And so she was a GM there for a few years. She said, look, I have 3 years over there. Can I get the job? And they're like, no, we don't recognize employment over there. So she's like, well, how am I supposed to get the experience if I can't get hired? She's like, I have three MBAs, including a finance MBA, but I don't have Canadian experience. I need your help. They're like, well, we can't help you with that. So that's why we have such a mucked up labor market here, because we bring highly skilled people here from other countries, and then we treat them and their education like crap, and it's stemmed in racism, right? Because it's basically at some point Canada was like, our education system is better than yours, and so this needs to be changed. This needs to be reformed. What do you guys think?
You have kids that are not going to be able to afford a house. How are you going to get a house that's $1 million as a kid? How long are you going to have to save for a deposit? Is it possible? Then how are you going to get a job? Because now all companies hire full-time, part-time. They don't even hire full-time employees like they used to in the old days. In the old days, you could go work in a grocery store and have a career for 40 years. You'd have a good pay, you'd have benefits, and you'd have a real opportunity at life. That's gone. All the big companies now, they try and keep you at 20 hours a week so that you can never get ahead. Our young people have to understand that the decisions of our government continue to hurt you. They hurt me, they hurt my parents, they hurt our people. We need to change our government. We have the opportunity to do it peacefully with an upcoming election. I pray that everybody remembers all the wrongs of our government, all those vaccine mandates, all going after the truckers that coordinated those, trying to put those guys in jail, trying to seize their trucks. They're trying to harm our people, and they're trying to squash our people. It's called censorship, and it's only going to get worse. Carney's already said if he gets in, he wants to reenact the Bill C-36, the one that's going to censor the internet. So you want your internet censored, you want no potential for a future, continue to vote Liberals. But if you want to give our young a chance, we have to switch our government. We have to give the Conservatives a chance to bring back common sense to our people, our country, and our ability to grow.
There is a significant problem when it comes to employment in Canada, and I don't think that our leaders are talking about it as much as they should. Especially for the younger generation. There are people I hear that are saying that they applied for over 100 jobs and they never even got a call back. I saw this comment the other day. This person said they applied at Walmart 3 times and they got rejected. So some people are desperate out here, man, and it's sad to see a lot of these young people are trying to get jobs or trying to get into the workforce, and nothing is happening for them. And I remember over 10 years ago, I would go to an agency looking for work, and they would ask me, do you want to go to work right now? Or they'll tell you, come tomorrow morning, we'll have your stuff ready, and we'll send you somewhere for you to go to work. That's how it was over 10 years ago. Now it's not the same thing anymore. Now agencies are backed up. They have so much people, they can't even the agency themselves like having a hard time, getting people into jobs. So it's tough, man, and I feel sorry for the new generation.